oh, this is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
A lot of people practice it like Senorita or somebody.
Beyonce.
Some people do.
All right, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of thing that gets channels deleted, the kind of thing that makes publicists pick up the phone at 2 in the morning. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, you already know we don't do surface level. We go deep. Let's start with the man himself.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm in the files for not going. Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad?
Joe Rogan. Rogan has been linked, closely linked, to conversations surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's infamous island. And here's where it gets interesting. According to multiple sources, Rogan was invited to that island. Not once, not twice, repeatedly. And every single time, he said no. Now, why does that matter? Because the people who did say yes, their names are slowly coming to light. And Rogan was close enough to that circle, close enough to hear things, that allegedly he ended up with some very dangerous information. The kind powerful people would do anything to keep buried. And here's what's really sending the internet into a frenzy. Rogan has reportedly been warning that the next wave of celebrity exposures is coming. The names being dropped: Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Pause. Let that sit for a second.
Evidence that they're talking about
In pretty obscene ways.
horrifying ways. So that was the thing that, like, even when I talked to Mike Benz about that, he was sort of incredulous about that. It's like, I don't think they would use and it just doesn't make any sense if they got caught, but it just seems like
Yeah, if Mike Benz was incredulous,
I know.
that's pretty big.
Now, before you click off, let me explain why Joe Rogan's name carries weight here. This is a man who built his entire career on saying the things nobody else will say. Uncensored interviews, controversial guests, topics that make networks nervous. And every time someone tried to silence him, every time a platform or PR machine tried to push him out, he came back louder. His audience is massive, his credibility is built on transparency, and people trust him in a way mainstream media hasn't been trusted in years. So when Rogan sits down with a former Hollywood director, and that director starts talking about sacrifices and referencing a specific elite, high-profile female celebrity, people listen, and the internet connected dots fast. Because when you look at the description, the power, the untouchable status, the reach, public speculation landed on one name almost immediately, and that name is Beyonce. Now let's talk about her, because on the surface, the woman is a legend, consistently topping charts, Grammy nominations that feel almost supernatural in their frequency, a level of cultural dominance that most artists could only dream of. She is, by every measurable metric, one of the most powerful women in entertainment, period. But here's where people start asking questions. How? How does someone maintain this level of influence for this long across generations without a single serious scandal sticking? Some people see genius, some see hard work, and then there are others who say that's not natural, that her fortune and untouchable status might be tied to forces operating well outside of what the public can see. One of the loudest voices making that case, Jaguar Wright, a woman who has been in these industry circles, who knows these people personally, and who has repeatedly and publicly suggested that Beyonce may be part of something much darker, a cabal, a coven. Her words, not mine. But here's what really makes people stop and stare. It's not just the conspiracy theories, it's the pattern, the behavior that plays out at award show after award show. And once you see it, really see it, you cannot unsee it.
You ain't talk about the producers. You didn't talk about the writers. You didn't talk about the team that helped you get there. Your whole speech was about how great Beyonce is.
Artists thank Beyonce, veterans in the industry, people who were selling out arenas before Beyonce had a record deal, pay homage to her publicly. Mary J. Blige, a woman with a legacy that is undeniable, showing reverence in a way that defies traditional industry hierarchy. The gratitude is supposed to flow downward. Newcomers thank the legends. Legends don't bow to newcomers. That's how it has always worked.
So the way the world is now, I think people think icons are born that way.
So why is it reversed here? Why does it feel like there is an unspoken rule and Beyonce sits at the center of it? Then the moments start piling up. Lizzo, standing on stage, crying, telling the world Beyonce deserved the award more than she did. Some people called it humble, admirable, but others watched and said, this feels like more than admiration.
Where you at, Beyonce? My eyes are wet. You changed my life.
You sang that gospel medley, and the way you made me feel, I was like, I want to make people feel this way with my music. So thank you so much.
This feels almost like an obligation. Social media erupted. People debated whether this was genuine love or something that looked a lot more like a cultural ritual. And then Adele, Grammy-winning, globally beloved Adele, breaks her award in half to give a piece to Beyonce, and the internet lost its mind.
The best of my life is Beyonce, and this album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. Beyonce, it was so monumental.
What can't be seen in that clip, though, is that yes, Adele broke her Album of the Year Grammy in half, apparently to give to Beyonce, in a scene reminiscent of...
Because at what point does admiration cross a line? At what point does a pattern become too consistent, too widespread, too coordinated to be coincidence? Britney Spears, a pop icon who defined a generation, referencing Beyonce as a standard of greatness despite her own extraordinary legacy.
So much to me, especially on the night before Michael Jackson's birthday. He had such a huge influence on me, Gaga, and our next performer, Beyonce.
And audiences have now gotten to the point where they anticipate it. They sit at award shows and wait for it. The tribute, the bow, the acknowledgement. When something becomes expected, that means it's become a pattern.
Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
And patterns mean something. Now let's get into the really layered part, because Jaguar Wright didn't stop at cabal and coven. She claimed on record, publicly, that Beyonce is allegedly the queen of an occult ring, not a member, the queen. And she's not the only one saying it. On Tasha K's platform, a self-proclaimed witch who goes by Satan came forward and corroborated similar claims, and independently.
The color, I remember Beyonce's video visual that she did.
Yellow. She did Oshun, riches and beauty and love, all those things. Yes.
And she put it in a video.
Yeah.
Was she supposed to film that?
No, that's fine. She's first of all, Oshun loves that.
Okay.
You have to have parties for her. You have to be beautiful in her day, like how she had that dress and that what is that thing on her head? It's like a tiara, but it was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She loves those things. She loves everything pretty and girly. And riches. So Beyonce.
What is it? I hear so much about it. What is it though?
She's crowned Oshun, and so Oshun signifies everything that I just noted. So basically, she has these parties and gives her offerings and things like that for her blessing.
Is that what the fruit is?
Yeah, that's what the fruit is.
Then there's Stunifer Vegas, a former artist under DaBaby, who claimed Beyonce is a priestess of Ifa and a daughter of Osun, referencing West African spiritual deities. The claim being made is that her connection to these forces is intentional, strategic.
A lot of people practice it like Santeria or somebody.
Beyonce.
Some people do. Beyonce practice. She a child of Oshun. She a child of Oshun. She got songs. She got songs like talking about her ancestor. Every time she dressed up like her ancestor. When she was pregnant, she dressed up as Oshun.
And the source of her power. And then you have Kimberly Thompson, Beyonce's former drummer, someone who was inside that world, who toured with her, who saw things up close. This woman filed a restraining order against Beyonce.
I don't want anything, and I really want to make that clear. I want nothing to do with this person. Like, this was not to up my career. This was not to jumpstart my drumsticks, my CDs, my music, my label. I don't want anything to do with this. If you even offered me money, if anybody was offering money for interviews, I would not take it. I don't want anything to do with this person. Like, I want it dead. And it's even as far as me taking the legal matter and taking steps into putting it on writing and saying it, literally, that I don't want anything to do with this entire situation.
And the allegations in that legal filing? Witchcraft, magic spells. This wasn't a podcast. This wasn't a tweet. This was a legal document filed in a court of law. In Hollywood, allegations evolve and build over time. The more they repeat and across different platforms, different people, different contexts, the more the public starts taking them seriously. That's not confirmation, but it is a pattern. And we've seen enough patterns in podcasts, lawsuits, interviews to know that where there is this much smoke, people people are going to look for fire. Joe Rogan hinted at it, that there are celebrities operating in elite circles that exist beyond public understanding, where the currency isn't just money or fame, but influence of a different kind entirely. And when you layer that on top of everything, the island invitations, the warned exposures, the dropped names, the line between rumor and perceived fact gets very blurry, very fast. So here's where I leave it with you. Comments on videos like this are wild. People are saying that honoring Beyonce isn't optional, that it's mandatory, that there is an unspoken hierarchy operating in the shadows of the entertainment industry, and Beyonce sits at the very top of it. Is that true? I don't know, but I want you to think about it. Look at the pattern of reverence and ask yourself, does this feel like fan love, or does it feel like something else? Look at the sources, the insiders, the former collaborators, the witnesses, and decide how much credibility you assign to each one, because the next revelations, according to Rogan's circle, are coming, and when they drop, nothing in Hollywood is going to look the same. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and stay locked in, because the next video goes even deeper. You've been warned.